Imagine this. The lights dim in a packed arena, the crowd's roar fading into an eerie silence as Joe Rogan, the king of podcasts and unfiltered truth-telling, steps up to the mic. His face, usually etched with that trademark smirk, twists into something unrecognizable, pure, unadulterated shock. "Enough is enough," he mutters, his voice cracking like thunder in a storm. But what could possibly rattle a man who's stared down UFC fighters, debated conspiracy theorists, and grilled the world's most controversial figures? Buckle up, because tonight, we're diving into the explosive moment when Joe Rogan uncovers the shadowy puppet master pulling strings above Sean Diddy Combs himself. This isn't just celebrity gossip, this is a bombshell that could shatter Hollywood's glittering facade forever. Picture the scene. It's a crisp evening in Los Angeles, the kind where the air hums with secrets and scandals waiting to erupt. Joe Rogan is in his element, hosting a live episode of his podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, with a surprise guest lineup that's already got the internet buzzing. Fans are glued to their screens, expecting the usual mix of wild theories and brutal honesty. But nothing prepares them for the curveball that's about to hit. Whispers have been circulating for weeks, rumors of Diddy's empire crumbling under allegations of wild parties, hidden tapes, and a web of influence that reaches into the highest echelons of power. Diddy, the music mogul who's built a fortune on beats and bravado, suddenly finds himself in the crosshairs of federal raids and explosive lawsuits. But Joe? He's always been the guy to call it like he sees it, unafraid to poke the bear. As the episode kicks off, Joe's voice booms through the speakers. "Folks, we've got a lot to unpack tonight. Diddy's situation? It's getting crazier by the day." The chat explodes with emojis and theories, fans speculating about who's next on the chopping block. Little do they know, Joe's about to drop a revelation that makes Diddy's drama look like child's play. Enter the twist. Midway through, a leaked document flashes across Joe's screen, courtesy of an anonymous insider. His eyes widen, his fists clench. "Wait a minute. This can't be right," he stammers, the camera zooming in on his paling face. The audience holds its breath. Who's above Diddy? Not just some rival rapper or jealous exec, no, this goes deeper, implicating a figure so untouchable, so woven into the fabric of global entertainment, that exposing them could ignite a firestorm. Emotions run high as Joe grapples with the info. "I've interviewed presidents, billionaires, you name it," he says, his voice trembling with a mix of rage and disbelief. But this is the real power play. Fans are shocked, flooding social media with hashtags like #RoganRevelation and #AboveDiddy. Comments pour in. "Joe looks like he saw a ghost," and "This is bigger than Epstein." The drama escalates when Joe hints at betrayals, old alliances crumbling, family ties strained. "If this is true, enough is enough. No one's above the truth," he declares, slamming his hand on the table. The suspense builds. Is it a tech titan? A political heavyweight? Or someone from Diddy's inner circle who's been playing both sides? Hold on tight, because as we peel back the layers, you'll witness heated arguments that leave egos bruised, accusations flying like daggers, and twists that flip the script entirely. Families divided, friends turning foes, and a resolution that might just redefine loyalty in Tinseltown. This is the moment everything changes, the realization that shakes Joe Rogan to his core and leaves the world questioning, who's really calling the shots? Stay tuned, you won't believe what comes next. As the camera pans back from Joe Rogan's stunned expression, the tension in the studio is palpable, like a storm cloud ready to burst. Joe leans forward, his knuckles white against the desk, staring at the screen where that leaked document glows ominously. "All right, folks," he begins, his voice a gravelly whisper that echoes through millions of earbuds worldwide. "I've always said I'm not afraid to go there, but this is next level." The chat feed erupts in a frenzy, viewers typing furiously, demanding answers. Who's pulling the strings? Is it a Hollywood heavyweight? A political powerhouse? Or something even darker, lurking in the shadows of fame and fortune? Joe takes a deep breath, his eyes darting to his producer off camera, who nods urgently, signaling to keep rolling. This is live, unscripted, and the world is watching. Let's rewind a bit to set the stage for this bombshell. It all started weeks ago when the first whispers about Diddy's downfall hit the headlines. Sean Diddy Combs, the unstoppable force behind Bad Boy Records, the man who turned parties into legends and beats into billions, suddenly found his empire under siege. Federal agents raiding his mansions in Miami and Los Angeles, seizing boxes of evidence, phones, hard drives, even those infamous white party invitations that now seem tainted with scandal. Lawsuits piling up like dominoes, accusations of assault, trafficking, racketeering. Diddy's inner circle scattering like rats from a sinking ship, former associates turning state's evidence, spilling secrets that could bury him for good. But Joe Rogan? He's been watching from afar, dissecting it all on his podcast with that signature blend of skepticism and outrage. Diddy's not the first mogul to fall, Joe had said in an earlier episode, puffing on a cigar, but this feels different. Like there's a bigger game afoot. Cut to the live show. Joe's guest tonight is a surprise, an ex-music executive named Marcus Blackwell, a shadowy figure with tattoos snaking up his arms and a scar across his cheek from some long-forgotten street brawl. Marcus leans back in his chair, smirking under the harsh studio lights. "Joe, I've seen it all," he drawls, his voice thick with a New York accent. "Diddy's just the tip of the iceberg. You think he's the kingpin? Nah, man, there's always someone higher up, pulling the levers." Joe's eyebrows shoot up, intrigued. "All right, Marcus, spill it. Who's calling the shots? Is it Jay-Z, Oprah, or one of those Silicon Valley tech bros dipping their toes in entertainment?" Marcus chuckles darkly, shaking his head. "Closer than you think, Joe. But let's not jump ahead. Remember those parties? The ones where the champagne flowed like water and the guest list read like a who's who of power players." Flashback mode. Imagine the glittering nights at Diddy's Hamptons estate, where A-listers mingled under crystal chandeliers, laughter masking the undercurrents of deals being struck in dimly lit corners. Diddy at the center, toasting to success, but always with a watchful eye. Marcus paints the picture vividly. "I was there, Joe. Saw politicians rubbing shoulders with rappers, CEOs whispering to models. But one name kept popping up in the hush-hush talks, Elias Thornwood." Joe freezes. Elias Thornwood? The reclusive billionaire behind Thornwood Enterprises, a conglomerate that owns half of Hollywood's studios, streaming services, and even a slice of the music industry. Thornwood, the man who's more myth than flesh, rarely seen in public, his face a blur in grainy paparazzi shots. "Thornwood?" Joe echoes, his voice rising. "The guy who bankrolls blockbusters and buys islands like they're candy. What's his connection to Diddy?" Marcus leans in, his eyes narrowing. "Diddy's been Thornwood's frontman for years, Joe. Those parties? Funded by Thornwood's slush funds. The deals? Orchestrated from his ivory tower. Diddy handles the flash, the fame, but Thornwood pulls the strings on the real power, controlling narratives, silencing scandals, even influencing elections through celebrity endorsements." The studio falls silent, save for the hum of equipment. Joe's face hardens, a mix of disbelief and dawning realization. "Proof, Marcus. I need proof." That's when the anonymous email pings in. Joe checks his laptop, and there it is. Scanned documents, wire transfers linking Thornwood's accounts to Diddy's ventures, emails with coded language about keeping the circle tight. Joe's hands tremble as he reads aloud. Subject, Operation Eclipse. Ensure the asset remains compliant. Any leaks, neutralize immediately. Signed, E.T. Elias Thornwood. Emotions erupt like a volcano. Joe slams the desk, his voice booming. "This is insane. If Thornwood's above Diddy, who's above him? Is this some Illuminati crap?" Marcus nods grimly. "It's deeper, Joe. Thornwood's got ties to global elites, think Davos meetings, private jets to Epstein's Island before it all blew up." Fans are shocked, the comment section a whirlwind. "Holy crap, Thornwood? That guy's untouchable," and, "Joe, you're a legend for exposing this." But the drama doesn't stop there. Joe's phone buzzes off hook, texts from insiders, warnings to back off. "They're coming for you, Joe," one reads. His family weighs in too. A quick cut to a fabricated scene where Joe's wife, Jessica, calls during a break. "Joe, what the hell? You're dragging us into this?" She hisses over the line, her voice laced with fear. "Think about the kids." Joe paces the studio, torn between duty and dread. "I have to, Jess. Enough is enough. The truth can't stay buried." As the episode unfolds, twists multiply like rabbits. Marcus reveals a betrayal. He was once Thornwood's right-hand man, until he got burned in a deal gone sour. "I leaked those docs, Joe. Revenge is sweet." But wait, Joe spots a discrepancy in the files. "Hold up, this signature, it's forged?" Marcus sweats under the lights. "What? No way." Accusations fly. Is Marcus a plant, sent to discredit Joe? The argument heats up. "You're lying." Joe roars, standing up. "This is a setup." Marcus fires back. "You're paranoid, man. Thornwood owns you too, your sponsors, your platform." Fists clench, security hovers, the crowd outside the studio chants Joe's name. Family drama intensifies. Joe's brother texts, "Bro, mom's freaking out." "Drop it." But Joe's resolve hardens. "No, the fans deserve to know." Diving deeper, let's explore Thornwood's empire. Elias Thornwood, born in the shadows of old money, inherited a fortune and multiplied it tenfold. His company, Thornwood Enterprises, isn't just business, it's a web of influence. Owns major labels where Diddy's artists signed shady deals, studios where films bury scandals and scripts. Remember that blockbuster about corruption? Thornwood produced it to deflect from his own dirt. Joe narrates over dramatic reenactments, actors portraying Thornwood in a dimly lit boardroom, Diddy bowing deferentially. Yes, sir, Diddy says in the scene. The party's set, all players invited. Thornwood's cold reply, good. Keep them hooked. Control is key. Back in the studio, Joe connects dots. Diddy's arrests? Thornwood's cleanup, sacrificing a pawn to save the king. Reactions pour in from everywhere. Diddy's ex, Cassie, tweets cryptically, truth hurts, but it's coming. Fans divide, some hail Joe as a hero, others accuse him of sensationalism. Joe's lost it, one commenter writes. Thornwood's a myth, but evidence mounts. Leaked audio of Thornwood berating Diddy. You idiot, those tapes could ruin us. Thornwood snarls. Diddy whimpers. I'll fix it, boss. Joe plays it live, the audio crackling with tension. Emotions run high. Joe chokes up. This isn't entertainment, folks. It's real lives destroyed. His producer whispers. Ratings are through the roof. But Joe's not in it for that, he's conflicted, stakes personal now. Twist number 2. An unexpected call in from a fan who's actually a whistleblower. Joe, I'm Lena, former Thornwood assistant, she says, voice disguised. He's got dirt on everyone, including you. Joe's blood runs cold. Me? What? Lena drops the bomb, your early UFC deals. Thornwood greased the wheels. Betrayal stings. Joe's built his empire on independence. No way, he mutters, but doubt creeps in. Arguments ensue with Marcus. You knew? Joe accuses. Marcus shrugs. Everyone's connected, Joe. Wake up. The studio feels like a pressure cooker, alliances fracturing. Family stakes heighten the drama. Imagine Joe at home post-show, recreated for the video. Jessica confronts him in the kitchen. You're obsessed, Joe. What if they come after us? Tears stream down her face. Joe pulls her close. I have to fight this. For our future. But division looms, his kids overhear, confused and scared. Friends chime in. Jamie, Joe's podcast sidekick, pulls him aside. Boss, this could end us. Joe's response, or save us all. Fans rally online, petitions forming to protect Joe Rogan. The betrayal theme echoes. Diddy betrayed by Thornwood, Marcus by both, Joe by the system. As part 1 builds to its climax, another twist, Thornwood's PR team issues a statement, denying everything. Baseless rumors, it reads. But Joe smells blood. They're scared, he tells Marcus. Heated debate follows. We go public with more? Marcus urges. Joe hesitates, personal stakes weighing heavy. My family's everything, yet resolve wins. Enough is enough. The segment ends on a cliffhanger, Joe receiving a mysterious package at the studio door. What's this? He asks, opening it to reveal photos of Thornwood with world leaders. Gasp. The screen fades, suspense thick as fog. But the story's just heating up. Thornwood's influence extends beyond music, into politics, where endorsements sway votes. Joe digs in. Remember Diddy's voter drives? Thornwood's playbook. Reenactments show secret meetings, handshakes sealing fates. Emotions peak when Joe shares a personal anecdote. I met Thornwood once, at a gala. Cold eyes, like a shark. Fans empathize. Joe's human too. Accusations mount against Diddy's circle. Justin Bieber's cryptic posts hinting at trauma, Usher's silence speaking volumes. Twist 3. Marcus confesses more. I have tapes, Joe. Thornwood threatening me. Playback. Thornwood's voice, chilling, cross me, and you're done. Joe's outrage boils. This monster's going down, but betrayal lurks. Marcus's phone rings, he steps out. Suspicious, Joe follows, overhearing. Yeah, boss, I'm in. Marcus working for Thornwood? Confrontation explodes. You traitor. Joe yells. Scuffle ensues, mics capturing chaos. Security intervenes, Marcus flees. Joe, breathless. Folks, this is real. Family reactions deepen the divide. Jessica texts. Come home now. Joe's torn, pacing. Friends like Elon Musk tweet support. Truth prevails, Joe. But stakes rise, anonymous threats arrive. Back off or else. Joe's defiance. Bring it. The narrative weaves emotional conflicts. Loyalty versus truth, fame versus family. Resolutions tease. Joe vows to expose all. Expanding on Thornwood's backstory. Orphaned young, built empire from nothing, but rumors of shady starts, mob ties, insider trading. Diddy's rise paralleled, Thornwood mentoring from afar. Dialogues recreate. Young Diddy, I'll make you proud. Thornwood, you better. Betrayals abound, Diddy ousting partners on Thornwood's orders. Fans' shock amplifies, forums buzz, Thornwood above Diddy? Mind blown. Some defend. Fake news, but evidence sways. Joe's emotional arc, from shock to anger, determination. I won't let this slide. As we approach the end of this segment, another layer, Thornwood's family enters the fray. His daughter, Isabella, a socialite, posts defending dad. Lies, but leaks show her at Diddy's parties. Family divided, Thornwood disowns her? Drama peaks. Joe wraps the hour. Stay tuned, folks. More twists coming, but the video continues the saga, building suspense for what's next. As the mysterious package sits unopened on Joe Rogan's desk, the studio lights seem to dim just a little more, casting long shadows that make everything feel heavier, more dangerous. Joe stares at the envelope, thick manila paper with no return address, just his name scrawled in sharp black marker. This came from who? He asks his producer through the glass, voice low like he's afraid the walls are listening. The producer shrugs, palms up, courier dropped it 10 minutes ago, no name, paid cash. Joe's fingers hover over the seal, hesitation written all over his face. The live chat is exploding. Open it, Joe. It's a trap. Thornwood's watching. Finally, he rips it open, photos spilling out like confetti from hell. Glossy 8x10s of Elias Thornwood shaking hands with senators, laughing with European royals, even a grainy shot of him on what looks like a private yacht with young faces that make Joe's stomach turn. One photo stands out. Thornwood and Diddy, arms around each other at a gala, but Thornwood's grip looks more like a chokehold than a hug. Joe spreads them across the desk, breathing hard. This isn't just power, folks, he says, voice cracking with fury, this is control on a level I've never seen. Marcus Blackwell, still in the hot seat after that earlier confrontation, leans forward, eyes wide. I told you, Joe. He's everywhere. Those pictures? That's his insurance policy. Dirt on everyone so no one dares speak. Joe picks up the yacht photo, studying it closer. Who are these kids? They look barely legal. Marcus swallows hard. That's the real game, man. Thornwood doesn't just fund parties. He curates them, supplies the talent, the silence, the aftermath. Diddy was the face, the party planner, but Thornwood was the architect. Joe's jaw tightens so hard you can almost hear teeth grinding. And the feds? They raiding Diddy but not Thornwood? Why? Marcus gives a bitter laugh. Because Thornwood owns half the Justice Department's donors. One call from him and investigations vanish like smoke. The emotional weight hits Joe like a freight train. He stands up, pacing the studio floor, mic still hot. I've built my whole career on calling bullshit when I see it, he says, almost to himself, but this makes me feel small. Like everything I've fought for is just noise while these guys play chess with people's lives. Fans watching live feel it too, the comment section floods with support and fear. Joe, you're our voice. Please be careful, this is bigger than all of us. Suddenly Joe stops pacing, turns back to Marcus. You said you have more tapes. Show me. Marcus hesitates, glances at the door like he's expecting someone to burst in. Not here, Joe. Too risky. But Joe's not having it. We're live. The world is watching. If we stop now, they win. Marcus pulls out a small USB drive from his pocket, hands shaking. This one's bad. Really bad. They plug it in. The audio crackles to life. Thornwood's voice, calm, icy, unmistakable. Sean, the new talent is arriving tomorrow. Make sure they're handled. No mistakes like last time. Diddy's reply, almost pleading, boss, some of them are scared. One girl said she wants out. Thornwood's laugh is pure venom. Then remind her what happens when people forget their place. You know the protocol. The recording cuts off with a click that echoes in the studio like a gunshot. Joe's face drains of color. He looks directly into the camera. This is not entertainment anymore. This is evidence of something criminal, systematic, protected. Emotions run sky high. Joe's voice breaks on the last word. His producer signals frantically. Legal is on the line, screaming to cut the feed. But Joe waves him off. No, we finish this. Cut to the aftermath. The episode goes viral within minutes, clips shared millions of times. Diddy's legal team issues a furious denial, calling it fabricated slander, but the damage is done. Cassie Ventura, Diddy's ex, posts a single emoji on her story, a broken heart followed by a flame. Fans read between the lines, speculation exploding. Justin Bieber, silent for years about his time with Diddy, likes several posts supporting Joe. Usher drops a cryptic lyric in his next show, shadows pull strings, kings fall when the curtain lifts. The entertainment world is divided. Some celebrities quietly unfollow Thornwood-affiliated accounts. Others double down, posting throwback pics with Diddy, trying to normalize it all. But the tide is turning. Back at Joe's house that night, the family drama reaches fever pitch. Recreated scenes show Jessica waiting in the living room, arms crossed, eyes red from crying. "You played that tape, Joe. On live TV. Do you have any idea what you've done?" Joe sits heavily on the couch, head in hands. "I couldn't let it go, Jess. Those kids, someone has to speak for them." She kneels in front of him, voice soft but fierce. "And what about our kids? What if they come after us next?" Joe looks up, tears in his eyes for the first time in years. "That's why I did it. Because if we stay silent, we're no better than them." The moment is raw, intimate, heartbreaking. Jessica pulls him into a hug, whispering, "Then we fight together. But promise me you'll be careful." Joe nods, but doubt lingers in his expression. Next morning, the backlash intensifies. Thornwood Enterprises releases a polished video statement. Elias Thornwood himself appears, first public appearance in a decade. Silver hair, tailored suit, voice smooth as silk. These accusations are baseless and dangerous. Mr. Rogan is peddling conspiracy for clicks. "We will pursue all legal remedies." But the internet sees through it. Memes flood in. Thornwood's face photoshopped onto puppet masters, chess kings, even the Emperor from Star Wars. Joe responds on an emergency bonus episode. "They're scared, folks. When the powerful start threatening lawsuits, you know you've hit a nerve." Twist after twist keeps coming. An anonymous hacker group leaks more documents, flight logs showing Thornwood's private jet making frequent trips to the same Caribbean island where Diddy allegedly filmed compromising videos. Names of high-profile attendees surface, politicians, tech billionaires, even a few sitting judges. Joe reads them live, voice shaking with rage. This isn't about one man anymore. This is a network. Marcus, now in hiding after the betrayal scare, calls in via encrypted line. "Joe, I lied about one thing. I wasn't just Thornwood's assistant. I was his fixer. I cleaned up messes. I'm done protecting him." Joe's trust is shattered again. "Why should I believe you now?" Marcus's voice cracks. "Because I'm scared too. They're coming for me. Help me get this out." Family stakes climb higher. Joe's oldest daughter, who usually stays out of the spotlight, posts a rare story. A photo of her and Joe from years ago, captioned, "Proud of my dad for standing up." Truth matters. It goes mega viral, humanizing Joe, showing the personal cost. Friends rally. Dana White from UFC tweets, "Joe's family. Anyone comes for him, they come for us." Elon Musk retweets with a rocket emoji and "Truth serum incoming." But threats keep arriving. Joe's security detail doubles. Late night calls with heavy breathing, packages with no contents but a single word: "Stop." As Joe digs deeper, he uncovers Thornwood's origin story, pieced together from old business records and whistleblower accounts. Born into faded aristocracy, Elias lost everything in a family scandal, clawed his way back using ruthless tactics. First music investments, then film, then politics. Diddy was his perfect creation, charismatic, hungry, willing to do the dirty work. Dialogues from leaked emails paint the picture. Thornwood writing to Diddy, "You're the mask. I'm the face behind it. Never forget who signs the checks." Diddy's reply, "Always loyal, E.T., but loyalty cracks under pressure." As Diddy's empire crumbles, he starts whispering to prosecutors, hinting at bigger fish. Thornwood panics, starts cutting ties, even allegedly leaking some of Diddy's dirt himself to control the narrative. Joe confronts this head-on in a solo segment. Diddy's not the villain here. He's the fall guy. The real monster sits in boardrooms, never getting his hands dirty. Fans are shocked, emotions running wild. Some defend Diddy, he did bad things too. Others see the bigger picture. Joe is right. This is systemic. The divide deepens families, friendships, entire fandoms. Heated arguments break out online, people unfollowing each other over opinions. Joe's own circle feels it, old guests refusing to return, sponsors quietly pulling ads, then returning when public pressure mounts. Another bombshell drops. A former Thornwood security chief, now in witness protection, agrees to an anonymous interview. Voice modulated, face blurred. Thornwood has contingencies for everything. If Diddy talks too much, there's a plan B. Accidents happen. Joe's eyes widen. "You're saying murder?" The man pauses. "I'm saying people disappear when they become liabilities." The studio goes dead silent. Joe whispers, "Enough is enough." The words hang in the air like a promise and a threat. As this chapter closes, Joe receives another call, this time from a blocked number. He answers on air. A distorted voice. "Mr. Rogan, you're playing with fire. Walk away while you still can. Joe's response is ice cold. Tell Thornwood I'm just getting started. He hangs up, looks into the camera. Whatever comes next, we face it together. The screen fades on his determined face, the package of photos still spread out like evidence in a murder trial, the saga far from over, twists still waiting in the shadows. The mysterious call hangs in the air like smoke after a gunshot, Joe Rogan still gripping the phone even though the line has gone dead. He sets it down slowly, deliberately, his eyes locked on the camera as if daring the invisible watchers to make the next move. They just threatened me on live air, he says, voice steady but laced with that quiet fury that makes his audience lean in closer. Tell Thornwood I'm just getting started. The words aren't bravado, they're a declaration of war. The studio feels smaller now, the walls pressing in, every shadow a potential threat. His producer's face is pale behind the glass, mouthing, cut. Joe shakes his head once, sharp. Keep rolling. They want fear? They get truth. The internet detonates. Within seconds, clips of the call are everywhere, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram Reels, all looping that final line on repeat. Hashtag surge. Hashtag Joe fights back. Hashtag Thornwood exposed. Hashtag enough is enough trending worldwide faster than any Diddy scandal ever did. Fans organize in real time, creating Discord servers, signal groups, even GoFundMes for Joe Rogan legal defense, that hit 6 figures overnight. But not everyone's cheering. Thornwood's loyalists, the ones who owe their careers to his invisible hand, start a counterwave. Verified accounts post threads calling Joe a conspiracy peddler, attention whore, the next Alex Jones. Some go darker, doxing attempts on Joe's family, fake accounts spreading lies about his past. The divide is brutal, families unfriending each other, old podcast guests publicly distancing themselves while others double down in support. Joe doesn't flinch. Next episode drops 48 hours later, no guests, just him in a bare-bones setup, single camera, one chair, no frills. I'm not hiding, he begins, because hiding is what they want. He pulls out a stack of new documents, fresh leaks from the same anonymous source that's been feeding him. Flight manifests, hotel records, non-disclosure agreements with 6-figure payoffs. Names redacted but context screaming, young models, aspiring artists, influencers flown in on Thornwood's jet, signed to silence before they even landed back home. Joe reads excerpts aloud, voice raw. This one says, recipient acknowledges participation was consensual and waives all future claims. Signed under duress, folks. Look at the dates, right after Diddy's white parties. He pauses, rubs his face. I feel sick reading this. But someone has to. Emotional conflict tears at him visibly. He stops mid-sentence, looks away from the camera. My wife asked me last night if this is worth it. She cried, man. Said she doesn't recognize me anymore, that I'm turning into someone obsessed. He swallows hard. Maybe she's right. But then I think about those kids in the photos, the ones who trusted the system and got chewed up. If I walk away now, who speaks for them? The vulnerability hits like a punch. Millions watching see Joe Rogan, the unbreakable one, crack just a little. Comments flood. We love you, Joe. You're not alone. Protect this man at all costs. Even skeptics soften. One viral reply. I used to think this was cap. Now I'm scared for him. Twist slams in like a blindside kick. Midway through the solo episode, Joe's phone buzzes again, same blocked number. He answers on speaker, live. Thornwood's voice this time, no distortion, calm as a frozen lake. Joseph. Impressive performance. But you're out of your depth. Joe's grip tightens on the phone. Elias Thornwood. Finally showing your face. Thornwood chuckles softly. Face? You think this is personal? You're attacking an ecosystem. Economies depend on stability. You threaten that, things adjust. Joe fires back. Like Diddy? You threw him under the bus to save your skin. Thornwood's tone sharpens. Sean made choices. Poor ones. As will you, if you continue. Click. Gone. The studio erupts in silence heavier than noise. Joe stares at the dead phone, then at the camera. He just admitted it. On tape. Live. He replays the audio clip 3 times, each listen more chilling. Fans lose their minds, screenshots, recordings, analysis threads dissecting every word. Legal experts jump in. That's tantamount to a confession. Thornwood's PR machine scrambles, releasing a statement within the hour. The call was misrepresented. Mr. Thornwood was responding to harassment. But the damage is catastrophic. Stock in Thornwood Enterprises dips 8% overnight. Board members reportedly resigning in panic. Family drama reaches breaking point. Cut to a dramatized home scene. Joe walks in after the show, exhausted, to find Jessica packing a small bag. I'm taking the kids to my sister's for a while, she says, voice trembling but firm. I can't live like this, Joe. Every time the phone rings, I think it's them. Joe reaches for her. Jess, please. We're so close. She pulls back. Close to what? Destroying ourselves? You think Thornwood stops at threats? Their oldest daughter appears in the doorway, eyes wide. Dad, people are saying bad things about us online. They posted our school. Joe's face crumples. The personal stakes have never been higher. He drops to his knees, hugging his daughter. I'm sorry, baby. Daddy's trying to do the right thing. Jessica softens just enough to touch his shoulder. Then finish it fast, or lose us. Resolution starts forming in the chaos. Joe calls in reinforcements. Dana White appears on the next episode via video, face serious. Joe, UFC stands with you. We've seen dirty money try to buy our sport before. Thornwood's people approached us years ago. We said no, now we say hell no. Elon Musk joins next, satellite link from who knows where. Truth is the ultimate weapon. I've got resources. Use them. Joe nods gratefully. I might need them, brother. Together they announce a joint task force, independent investigators, forensic accountants, cybersecurity experts, all funded by crowdfunding and private donations. No more hiding behind NDAs, Joe declares. We're going public with everything. But Thornwood isn't done fighting. Another twist. Diddy himself breaks silence. From house arrest, he releases a video statement, looking gaunt, haunted. I was wrong about a lot of things, he says, voice low. I thought I was the boss. I wasn't. There was always someone higher. I stayed quiet to protect my family. But silence protected monsters. He looks straight at the camera. Joe Rogan, thank you, and I'm sorry. To everyone I hurt. The confession shocks the world. Diddy names no names, yet, but the implication is clear. He's flipping. Prosecutors reportedly scrambling to offer deals. Thornwood's empire starts cracking at the seams. Joe processes it all in real time. Diddy just became the biggest whistleblower in entertainment history, he says, almost in disbelief. The man I thought was the problem, might be the key to ending it. Emotions swirl, anger at the past, hope for the future, grief for the victims. He dedicates the next segment to survivor stories, anonymized but powerful. Voices reading letters. I was told it was part of the dream. They said no one would believe me. I still have nightmares. Joe listens, tears openly falling. This is why we fight, he whispers. Not for clicks. For them. As alliances form, betrayals continue. Marcus Blackwell resurfaces, claiming he was forced to work against Joe. They threatened my kids, he says in a shaky video call. I'm coming clean now. Joe's trust is shattered, but he allows it. Prove it. Marcus sends final files. Thornwood's private server backups, emails outlining contingency plans for silencing critics, including Joe. One email stands out. Rogan becoming problematic. Prepare Phase 3. Joe reads it aloud. Phase 3. What the hell is Phase 3? The episode ends on that question mark, suspense thicker than ever. Joe looks exhausted but unbreakable. We're not done. Not even close. Thornwood thought he could scare us into silence. He miscalculated. He leans into the camera, voice low and fierce. Enough is enough, and we're just warming up. The screen fades to black, but the story pulses on, threats, alliances, confessions, heartbreak, all building toward the inevitable collision that will either topple an empire or bury the man who dared to challenge it. And just like that, the screen fades to black one final time, Joe Rogan's determined face frozen in that last frame, eyes burning with the kind of fire that doesn't go out easy. What started as a single stunned moment on a live podcast has exploded into the biggest entertainment reckoning we've seen in decades. From Diddy's crumbling empire to the shadowy figure of Elias Thornwood pulling strings from the darkness, from leaked tapes and threatening phone calls to families torn apart and whistleblowers finally finding their voice, this saga has it all. Betrayal, power, fear, courage, heartbreak, and the raw, unfiltered pursuit of truth. Joe Rogan didn't just report the story, he became the story. He stared into the abyss of one of the most protected networks in the world and refused to blink. Enough is enough, he said, and damn if the world didn't start listening. But here's the thing that keeps us all up at night, it's not over. Not even close. Thornwood's empire is cracking, sure, stocks tumbling, allies scattering, Diddy himself turning state's evidence in ways nobody saw coming, but men like Elias Thornwood don't fall without taking others down with them. Phase 3, whatever nightmare that entails, is still out there. Are the feds finally moving on the bigger fish? Will more celebrities break their silence? Is Joe safe, or is the next threat already in motion? And the biggest question of all, who else is tangled in this web that we haven't even named yet? The unresolved threads dangle like live wires, sparking every time someone dares to speak. This isn't just Hollywood drama anymore. This is a mirror held up to power itself, and the reflection is ugly, terrifying, and impossible to look away from. So what do you think, fam? Has Joe Rogan just become the most important voice in America, or is he in way over his head? Do you believe Thornwood's days are numbered, or is he too untouchable to ever really fall? Drop your hottest takes in the comments right now. I want to hear it all. Was Diddy a victim, a villain, or both? Should more people come forward? Are you scared for Joe and his family? Hit that like button if this saga shook you to your core, smash subscribe and turn on notifications because trust me, the next chapter is coming fast and it's going to be explosive. Share this video with everyone you know, friends, family, that one cousin who still defends every celebrity no matter what. The more eyes on this, the harder it gets for the shadows to stay hidden. And if you're new here, welcome to the front lines. We don't do safe takes, we don't do filtered truth, we do real. So stick around, because whatever happens next, whether it's justice, retaliation, redemption, or something darker, we're covering it live, unscripted, and unafraid. Thank you for riding this roller coaster with us. Your support, your comments, your shares, they're the reason voices like Joe's keep getting louder. Now go ahead, let me hear you in those comments. Tell me, who's really above Diddy? And more importantly, who's above them? I'll be reading every single one. Peace, stay vigilant, and remember, enough is enough. See you in the next one.